What's up, Candy Lickers? Don't miss the all-new HBO Max original comedy series, That Damn Michael Che, starring none other than Michael Che, featuring celebrity guests Amari Hardwick, Cecily Strong, Colin Jost, Billy Porter, and Method Man, among others. That Damn Michael Che explores Michael's perspective on everyday situations, including racial profiling, unemployment, falling in love, and more. Stream That Damn Michael Che now on HBO Max. At streaming now, HBO Max, That Damn Michael Che, and you have no excuse. Maybe you're out there going, I don't even have HBO Max yet. Well, here's what we're going to do. Michael and the crew hooked us up with five $25 gift cards from American Express, and we're going to send them to five of you Candy Lickers so you have no excuses. You get the card, get yourself some HBO Max, maybe have some money left over for some snacks or something, a little Debbie's, of course, and then stream That Damn Michael Che. All you got to do is tweet us or Instagram us, any social media, or comment below if you're watching this on YouTube and put, I want that damn Michael Che money. And we're going to pick five of you and hook you up with American Express gift card. Go stream That Damn Michael Che now on HBO Max. Just want to thank our proud sponsor, Manscaped, hooking you up with that Casio promo code. That's right. Manscaped is the best in men's below the waist grooming champions of the world. Look at this. Got the brand new Lawnmower 4.0. That's right. You heard it. The 4.0 is launched. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling aerodynamic, son. It is looking right where I need it to. My rig is looking right. All thanks to the Lawnmower 4.0. And you can join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer. Like I said, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code CASIO, C-A-S-I-O, at manscaped.com. This thing is engineered. It's the ultimate groin and body trimmer. It focuses on intelligent functionality and an incredibly comfortable grooming experience. Their fourth generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. Thanks to their advanced skin safe technology, I now feel confident shaving my boys. That's right. The Lawnmower 4.0 is here. And yes, it's got additional guard links 1 through 4. So maybe you want to test it out. Start with the 4, work your way down, see how brave you really feel. It's time right now. Clean your stuff up. 20% off plus free shipping with the code CASIO at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. What's up, Candy Lickers? Pleased to meet you. Nice to know me. What you doing? You're listening to another edition of Casio's Cut. I'm your host, Casio, of course, and I'm joined by rocker extraordinaire, Aaron Jones. What's up, man?
Hey, man. How's it going?
Thank you for joining me. First off, how many times do you correct people for Aaron and Aaron?
Oh, all the time. It's been like a lifelong thing. I actually remember being in kindergarten and the teacher used to take, her name was Miss Hamblock, and she used to take attendance every day. And for like the first half of school, she called me Aaron until like, my aunt came in and was like, his name's Aaron. And she's like, wow, really? I got to get that off the whole time.
It's like opposite of the, if you've seen the Key and Peele episode where they say, hey, Aaron.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have.
Yours is opposite. Yours is Aaron. They want to say
Aaron. That's right.
They say Aaron.
Yeah, that's right. It's phonetically it's spelled how it's said, Ayron. But it's like it's a funky name. I get it. People are always like, well, is it Aaron or like Arion or Arion or
You've heard it all.
In fact, there's a funny story about that. Was one of the bigger festivals I played as an indie artist, man. We had done this Y Amplified Festival back in like 2014 down in Las Vegas on the MGM fairgrounds, or like they're like concert grounds.
Yeah.
And we were opening the main stage, and I think Blink 182 was the headliner. It was like Michael Frantius Spearhead was like playing that show. It was a lot of like really big acts. I mean, even if we go back, I think I saw Train at that show too, which was crazy. So, but So I'm this indie artist, like no one's ever heard of. We don't have really any. We have a little publicity, like but we don't really have anything. We have like indie paid for things. Arrived in a minivan with a lawnmower trailer full of our stuff. And so we get there, and as soon as we arrive, I'm like looking for my stuff, and I'm asking around. I'm like, your name should be on everything. Just try going that direction. So I go, I find the piece of paper, and everywhere it says Aaron James and the Way. And I'm like, this is what it is.
Aaron James, nice.
Aaron James. So if I ever like, I can be a little bit of a diva, but I'm I usually joke about it. You know what I'm saying? Like make fun of myself for like being this prissy dude. And so if I ever get in my ego, I'm always like, do you know who I am? I'm Aaron James, damn it.
I'm Aaron James in the Way.
I am Aaron James. So yeah, and and later that night I ended up talking to Michael Franti. He's like, oh yeah, dude, you're Aaron James. I'm like, yes I am. Yes I am.
You're Aaron James. Well, if he calls you that, that's you for life.
Yeah, I know. I had to. But he read it. Who was I telling him was wrong? And it was Michael Franti. Who am I?
Well, I'm Casio. I go by. People call me Casino or Cheerio or Curio or Casino. I hear it all too. So.
That's crazy.
Michael Franti, you've performed with him a few times, right?
No, just the once, I believe. I don't know if we played again, shared stage again after that. Yeah, just the once, man. That was just that show down in festival down in Las Vegas, which was insane. That was an insane festival, man. Side stage watching Train and all these huge acts, and it's beautiful. We're in Las Vegas, and Vegas always treats you right when you ever do anything down there. So they put you up and give you a little cash to play around with. It was a great time.
If for somebody is listening or watching, they have not heard Aaron Jones, pure rocker. You've got some blues to you, of course. I'm sure you're influenced by that. Seattle through and through.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that because Seattle is kind of, it is a rock musical hotbed.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to get to it. We'll get to, I was a fan of Levy Walker a long time ago, which is a super group. You were basically the front man on. Well, let's just get to it. You had a band. It's you, Mike McCready, of course, Duff McKagan, and Barrett Martin from Screaming Trees.
Yep.
And you guys got together a band that I thought should get more praise. But just talk about how that came about. Who's calling you and going, hey, you want to be a part of this?
Well, at the time, I've got 2 indie records that I dropped before I got signed. So this is my first major label record. But on my second indie record, I worked with Barrett Martin, who produced the whole thing for me, and was really a mentor in getting me ready to go to the majors. Getting me all saturating me with this information that I needed to go and navigate, everything that comes with a major career. And as well as in the music. So, we worked on that project, and then he called me again to do, work on this documentary. So I'd worked with Barrett a bunch in between 2013, 14, and 15. I'm not 13. I'm sorry, 14 through. It'd probably be 14 through 17 or 14 through 16. And he just called me up because he'd worked with those guys on the Mad Seasons project. Not Duff, but he's worked with at least Mike on the Mad Seasons project, and Mike and Duff are friends, and that whole, so he's part of that whole clique, that 90s grunge clique, man. And he just gave me a phone call one day and said, hey man, we've been working on this thing. And the way the project actually worked was that they had different frontmen for each of the different songs they worked on, so that comprised the album. So they just gave me a phone call to pick 2 songs that they had worked on that didn't have any lyrics and just write some stuff to them, which was kind of like my first real challenge, I think, at writing something on that level, but also set the stage for where I'm at now,
Do you mean writing something to someone else's music, or just you realize the magnitude of this project?
It's a little of both. Writing something to somebody else's music, but also realize just to have my name associated with these people was going to be the start of something, But more than anything, it also taught me the value of learning how to really put a song together, because up to that point, I was coming from the jam scene. I was coming from a mainly blues scene, and rock was kind of my focus. I was trying to bring everything back into this rock and roll and really create and work, define this really grungy, punky, bluesy sound, but I still hadn't quite discovered what it meant to become a songwriter, And so when working on that project, that was the first instance of like, it was just a, kind of like a preview of what was to become in terms of my career, you know? And so fast forward to now, and it's like, that's just the name of the game, you know. Whereas then it was like I'd never written with anybody or for anybody in my life, you know. So
let's talk because I've of course seen you in different interviews. I know you probably get tired of talking about it, but it is a big moment in your career. It's one of your I don't know if you call it a break or not, but it is a big moment in your career.
yeah,
And that is of all people, Sir Mix-a-Lot seeing you at a bar and
yeah,
wanting to produce you. And
mm,
on the fringe, people that are listening might go, what does Baby Got Back guy know about rock music? But the key is he knows about music, period. And he knows
yeah,
about the business, and he knows ins and outs, the politics, like you were talking about earlier, pitfalls.
yeah.
Same thing with Barrett, teaching you how to, get yourself into this scene. Talk about how that all, he comes into a bar and just sees you playing.
Yeah, well, at the time we were working. I think this is back when I was in the bar scene, and I had gotten by at the time by working, almost full time, maybe part time to full time as like different day jobs. But at night, what I would do was go jam with these blues, these bars where they would let me play cover songs for 3 hours at a time, weekly. I had kind of come up on the scene as soon as I turned 21. Saw how it all played out. Other musicians in the town were playing these weekly gigs to make 100, $200 here or there, just to like support themselves as musicians, but also like working these day jobs. So I took on the same formula, and something I remember seeing an ad about this Hard Rock Rising Battle of the Bands competition, which if you know anything about those kind of things, they're really commercialized and they're more geared towards bringing brand attention, I think, rather than really focusing on the music. But so in order for us to be a part of this competition and advance in this competition, we had to get all these votes online on Facebook and people to like the page and do all this stuff to try to advance, So we didn't have much to do with our performance or music, but there was an actual live aspect to that in Seattle. So we were in this battle of the bands, and we had won the first round, and we were trying to get to the second round. We needed to garner votes and everything. And it was a mutual friend of ours had seen us, and he called him up. He said, "Come check these guys out. You might want to work with them." And he walked in. He loved it, and that was it. And that was a crazy night. It was a crazy night because it was like there's only 10 people there, And then Sir Mix-a-Lot, who's a legend in Seattle, by the way. I know he's like a legendary guy. Period. I mean, he's well known in the music industry, but he's like a legend. So when a cat walks in from your hometown, he's like platinum and gold award-winning recording artists with Grammy awards and all that stuff. You're just like, wow, this is crazy, But that really set the path for me, man. He became a big mentor for me in this industry, and but also my sound. I don't know if people realize how my sound is really influenced by kind of this 90s hip hop groove, and which you can hear in and out of the record and at times in different songs. Especially, I think "Take Me Away" really embodies that. Kind of like that mantric repetition of hip hop. I try to put that in my music. So, but yeah, Mix was one of the biggest, supporters, and he really is what put me on this track. He took me and my band and gave us a big break in the sense of all of a sudden, overnight we went from playing bars to at least our hometown knowing who we were, and maybe a little bit beyond that, and it laid the groundwork for touring, and there's just kind of this pathway for me to grind through, and from there I took it and, made a little bit of money, raised a little bit of money, and kept putting this band on the road, flying, 4 or 5 people out to New York, my own crew with me, and, doing different stuff, trying to make it on through the other side,
You talked about, him helping you out with that sound and creative process. I find, and now here's the deal. If people listen to the podcast, if they're regulars to the podcast or the radio station, I listen to a lot of music, and we get submitted a lot of music, and a lot of bands submit their stuff. And, my program director, music director, Jimbo Wood, sits across the hall from me. And so I hear a lot of stuff. And to be honest, a lot of it kind of blends together. And a lot of it, you just go, hey, there's maybe 3 Days Grace has got another song. It sounds just like
right,
them.
man. Yeah.
But I distinctly remember a year or so ago. I don't remember exactly when it was, but he gets "Take Me Away" and he doesn't say anything. He just plays it in his office, and I just got up from my desk and walked over and said, "What the fuck is this?" Because it just it just cuts
That's cool,
through
man. Yeah,
everything. You don't. I mean, you have a familiar sound, as in a rock sound, but you don't have a hey that sounds like so and so sound.
yeah,
Do you Take Me Away? I know Boys from the Puget Sound. Both of those particular. I mean, all of them are great lyrics, but those are the first two I hear, and it's almost being a comedian. They say your headliner is your final joke, and then your
yeah.
second funniest joke. You should almost come out of the gate. Is this something you purposely do? Both of those songs, your first two lines out of all those, kind of like, whoa, what the fuck? I mean,
Yeah.
Take Me Away, you're like, the day my fucking mom abandoned me was the day I learned to lie. And if you're like right then, you're like, okay, hang on a second. And then Puget Sound, I play it, and it's I've already called the
Yeah.
fucking
Fucking
police,
police.
and you're
That's
like,
right.
hey, what? I
Yeah.
mean, is that something you strive, or did that just happen on those songs? Do you
Yeah.
go, I need to
I've,
get you right out of the gate?
it's been deliberate, man. There's especially that's kind of always been my writing style. It's just like I said, I'm a lover of hip hop, and that first line, I
Yeah,
mean, the hardest songs to me in music just came out just right out the gate and told you what it was, and it captured you, and you're
yeah.
in it, man. Almost like NWA, when they started out, their best songs started out just so hard and saying something so
Right.
in your face. And for me, it's like that's kind of what I see myself as in rock and roll. It's like right now I feel like I first of all, I set out to create. I always want to set out to create timeless music. You know, I want to set out to create music that if you hear it, you're always going to think about this for the rest of the time. It really consumes you. But secondly, it's like that hip hop influence is where I get that attitude from. You know what I mean? And I want people to always kind of be taken aback by that first line, especially in stuff that I wrote. Like "Take Me Away" and "Boys from Puget Sound" those are just singular rights, right? Like I wrote those myself. Whereas "Mercy," for instance, is a co-write. And it still hits the same way, but it's got a different feel to it. So I strive to be in your face, man. I really want that first line to capture you and bring you. I mean, that's the best hook in anything. Is that first line, that first thing you say.
Does that come to you first, or does usually the hook come to you first?
It's hard to say because for me it's all words, and that's the thing I've realized about myself is like it's like these words are always existing. Everything in the universe exists at one time. This is really philosophical, but everything in the universe exists at one time, and it's not until we take some time to focus on any point of the universe that we see what we want to see. You know what I'm trying to say? So for me, it's like these words, these phrases are always floating in the air for me. And then at any given time when it comes down to focusing on writing music, I'm going to take these little pieces of these phrases and I'm going to start to put them together and create a story and paint a picture for you that comes from the heart, and using these lines. And that's cool. That's the cool thing about being a songwriter. It's like, I'll have a song that maybe I wrote 10 years ago where the lyrics, it maybe didn't work out or the song wasn't that great, but I can take like little pieces of this song and put it to this melody I've been working on with this song. And that could be a phrase right here. And here we go. Like now we have this whole really cool thing happening.
Are you a guy that hey, it comes to you, I got to get it down, or you've heard people like, oh, it came to me in a dream and I had to get up immediately and like sing it into my phone or whatever? Are you all over the
Yeah.
board?
All over the board, really. There are times where I've had beats in my head, and I'm thinking to myself, I need to get that down, or melodies, or phrases, especially when it's like songwriting time. If there's when we're like, okay, it's time to plan the album, it's time to get moving on the record. Like, what are you thinking? And it's songwriting time. My brain is, I'm always like, I feel bad for my family because I'm sure they want me to be engaged and stuff. And I'm always like, yeah. Yeah, in my head, and they're just like, "What's he doing?" And I'm sure people think I'm like schizo when they walk through the door. I'm just like, yeah, that's right. I'm not doing anything. I don't have headphones in. I'm just like, I'm hearing a beat in my head, and I'm
In your
writing
head,
down.
you can hear it.
Yeah, in my head, and it was like, this guy's out of his mind. So yeah, and it's all over the board for me, man. I've learned how to be more, I guess, fluid as a songwriter and as a composer because I am an instrumentalist as well. I can kind of cross they cross the two skills together, where it's like as a composer or a songwriter, you're gonna have phrases of different things that go off in your mind, and they don't always work together. But you can take those pieces of songs and put those together. So I look at lyrics the same way, and then the overarching philosophy on music the same way, right? Which is that these things come together because of the emotional state of the music, and vice versa, right? So with Boys from the Puget Sound, I mean, that's just a hard song. Like, how could you come in, like how could you come in being like, yeah, I grew up kind of hard and then it got better.
No, you're blowing out speakers.
Yeah.
When you say I already called the fucking police, I'm like, well, this guy's serious, guys.
Yeah.
We got the fucking police are already on the way. We got to get ready for this song.
Absolutely, man. I'll never forget when we played that in front of an audience for the first time. It was here in Seattle too, and it shocked people. I remember just people like standing in the audience, and it shocked them awake almost, because the first band had opened up, and this is this Aaron Jones in the way, this kid who was just like been on the news and like done some cool stuff. So makes a lot of doors to this guy. We got to see what he's about. And there's a little bit of chatter at first. The lights go dim, the spotlight's on, and I'm like, I called the fucking police, and everybody stops and just stares. They're like, what did he just say?
Yeah, because the music almost like reels you in very slow, just the first couple slow notes, and then you're like, whoa, we gotta listen now.
Yeah, here come the Boys from the Puget Sound, man. I remember when we dropped that line for the first time in Seattle, people lost their shit. They lost their minds hearing that. There's a crazy movement happening. Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because I know you got some things going on, and this record is popping on, Child of the States coming out, and but also let's talk about the timing, because I feel like here things starting to roll for you. You got the new album, you're starting to release radio singles, and then we got a pandemic. And I know I don't mean to diminish what the pandemic was, but as far as career-wise, I can't think of a shittier time for you. I mean, how do you handle it? How do you address it? I mean, what was the plan with all this? Because I didn't even know how many of these songs you've even gotten to do in front of a live audience.
Yeah, a lot of them I haven't. A lot of them are brand new songs that I've never even played front to back in front of anybody. So, the pandemic has been really, it's been a wrench in the system. But I've always followed the philosophy of just like move how things move, And so for me, even though there was the challenge and the tribulation of trying to figure out how to do this, first of all, safely, so nobody gets sick. You don't want to, and you don't want to lose lives during this process, But get it done safely, and then get it done, and do it right, So that was definitely a challenge, but at the same time, like, it forced me inward, and forced me to be kind of more introspective in a time when I really needed to be, because the music needed that, So there's an interesting thing that happens there, where it's like, there's this concept of divine timing, where everything kind of happens in synchronicity in the way that it's supposed to. I feel like that was more validation for me that this record was going to bring about a certain time for me, because of how things played out, and now that things are opening back up, like, I get to be, and the great work, honestly, the great work that the label and management did, to get all this stuff out as well. But this is, I'm opening up myself into a whole new territory in my career, and I get to be part of the new wave, the new thing after the pandemic is over, So I don't know. It definitely was a challenge, though. I will say that it was a challenge.
Did it help creatively, or did it hamper it? Did you get new songs while you were at home, or what's happening?
Yeah, half the album, really, maybe even a little more than half the album was rewritten. Well, I first of all, some of the songs on the record are rewritten and re-recorded versions of songs I've had with me for a while. But a good chunk, I think I would even say majority of the record is brand new songs that were written in the second half, like at the very end of 2020,
Oh, wow.
Right, around September, October. I literally left on a 2-week writing trip. I stopped in with a bunch of really great songwriters, and I recorded probably 6 or so songs, and out of that batch, we decided which ones were going to make the record. And I came back to Seattle and recorded in the studio here at London Bridge, and got these things kind of like down and out by January. So a lot of this record happened within a month's time.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
New album coming out, Child of the State, May 21st. Is that still right? Nothing changed?
Yep, that's right. That's right.
May 21st, Child of the State. I know you've addressed it before, but I think Child of the State has of course, a gigantic meaning to you.
Yeah.
Growing up in the foster system, I know even going back to the Levy Walker's days, I just remember the line, "Mama, I'm going to be famous. I want you to see what I did with the name you gave me." And then, of course, "Take Me Away." You've got the day my mom left was the day I learned to lie. Talk about, I mean, I know I have a personal friend. I even texted him and said, "Hey, man, this story is not the same, but he's in music and he was, in the foster system, and he kind of used music to help his head and help him get right and help him elevate above that." I know you got a family now, so I'm sure that plays into that.
Definitely.
But just talk about that and how it meant for you to name this album "Child of the State."
Yeah, well, Child of the State for me had multiple meanings, behind it. Really, I mean, definitely a bit about my backstory and the origins of what I was to become. Started, as for at least for a short time, a child of the state, and even then, once I became in the care of my aunt, I was still, the government was still overseeing that, even, like that was like their main role. And so like there's a little bit of that for sure, but also just like being black in America, man, and growing up in this country and having pride in something that at times can feel and be so unfair, and still overcoming that and becoming something that represents that and embodies that in so many ways, So when I say child of the state, I'm also talking about this almost sick pride I have in this country at times, where it's like, even with everything, knowing what I've been through, even, I've been through discriminated against. We can get into the whole racial aspect of things, but even beyond that, man, it's like, I've had to overcome all of these obstacles to still wave the American flag as high as I possibly could. You know what I'm trying to say? So that really, for me, kind of epitomizes what it is. Here I am, the descendant of slaves. Here I am, this person that, a part of a community which is still seeking some sort of reckoning and some sort of, equal justice under the law, like, but I'm still here playing this American sound for the world. I'm representing our country, in the origins of something that we all take pride in, rock and roll. I'm representing that for the world. So that, for me, that became really what that was about, was like, I'm this American child, and as complicated as that is, this bleeds through my speakers, man.
Unfair system, but still happy to live in the greatest country in the world.
That's exactly it, man.
Those can coexist. It doesn't mean we're perfect.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's very true, man. It's very true. Those are, and I think that it's important, as I, kind of pave the way for myself, and as I kind of, blaze this trail for myself, I think it's important that people know that even though I'm speaking up against and about certain issues, I still love this country. I still, with all of its flaws or whatever you want to call it, I still love this place, and I think that's so important. I think that our pride in our country and the pride in, in where we come from in our culture as a united people, I think that's so important, man. Even with all the things that I think are unfair and unjust, bro. I think
talk about. Talk about. I won't speak for you, but just talk about "Mercy" is such a powerful song, especially like you said, the times that we're going through now with all the social justice and the change and the protests and everything that's going on in this country. That comes out at a time in the middle of all that. Not that it wouldn't have been a powerful song, but I think it's even a more powerful song now.
Yeah, I think so too. It did for me when I was in the studio. I got in with Scott Stevens and Marty Fredrickson, and when I was in the studio, I just left Seattle and I couldn't even leave my house for like 2 weeks. It was hot. It was muggy. We couldn't really open the windows because it was like that we were blanketed with the forest fires, the smoke from the forest fires.
Jeez.
I mean, I couldn't see. I live across the street, from a beach, and it's not even, it's not even a football field away. It's like really close, and we couldn't see across the street, man. So there was like this like almost angst that existed in me from that feeling of being stuck there, and then this is right around the time that things started really progressing with the George Floyd issue, and so there's other frustration there, and like the coronavirus, all of it, and it just was like I felt almost helpless to do anything about it, and so Mercy really was like the only way I could find to say something without creating a visceral reaction in people, just like to tell my story without taking the imagery that you would normally look for to tell it. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that people, are put off by this term that you say Black Lives Matter, that really turns some people off. And even though I do believe that Black Lives Matter, I didn't want to try to tell you my story by starting off with something that triggers you, if that triggers you,
Right.
I wanted to tell my story by using the imagery and the music and the symbology to help bring you into the emotions of what I'm feeling, So I'm hoping it's kind of worked so far, I'm hoping that some people are seeing that and are able to really think about these issues that are happening right now, and hopefully to bring about conversation that can bring about some kind of change, because we need it. We need that kind of mercy for each other, that kind of tolerance for each other, so we can meet in the middle and have a conversation.
Copy that, man. It's a powerful song. Loved hearing it. Loved Free. Loved all the songs that I've heard. I cannot wait to hear the brand new album, Child of the State by Aaron Jones, coming up in May, later here in May 21st. We got the album out of the way. I got to bring up some fun stuff from your background.
Man, let's do it.
You've talked about it before.
Yeah.
What of all people, if they're watching this on YouTube, one of us is a Frisbee champion and one of us is not. You can do the math on what. I mean, I should have known because it's Seattle.
Yeah.
How are you getting into Frisbee champ?
Man, I I got into ultimate Frisbee because I went to this camp one year, and it was a SAVE camp, which was like Students Against Violence Everywhere, and so we weren't allowed to play competitive sports because competitive sports like brought about some kind of violence. But
I got you.
One of the counselors there was like a Frisbee guy, man, And so we were just like bombing the Frisbee. We couldn't keep score, but we would pass and play together, It was the weirdest thing. But I got really into it at that point. And then I remember I was 8th grade, about to go into high school, and I joined. My middle school had a team, so I joined, man. And like I was already naturally athletic, so to start to like find a place to put the athleticism, because I'm growing up in a family of 4 at the time, single mom household, and she's trying her best to spread the money out to make sure everybody's got what they need to get by and are living happy lives, and so she couldn't afford to put us in all the mainstream sports like football, or like we couldn't dedicate time to do soccer every weekend. But when I was like, I want to play ultimate Frisbee, she goes, what does it cost? I'm like, almost nothing, and she's like, oh, excellent, have fun, that's great, you're not gonna hurt your head, are you? Okay, awesome, go play. So I got into it age 13, man, and then stuck with it. Played on the club team here, like a kids club team, because there wasn't enough schools at the time playing to have like leagues and stuff. So we had like some leagues, but the leagues had like clubs in them and stuff.
So wait. So ultimate Frisbee is kind of like football, right? You got to move it down the field.
It's it's football, it's soccer, and it's basketball.
It's not full blown. I don't want people to confuse it with Frisbee golf.
No, that's different. Yeah, disc golf is like a sport that's like more like resembles golf.
Yeah,
ultimate resembles more like football. Like it's like football. Yeah, it's like football, basketball, and soccer. It was actually invented by Joel Silver, the Hollywood producer.
Okay.
But anyway, so I ended up playing on the club team in middle school. Continuing throughout high school. I got really, really good in high school because I was attempting to play other mainstream sports, but was like undersized and like too lazy to actually do it. So like I'm like trying out for wrestling. I'm terrible at wrestling. I'm trying out for football, and I'm like this skinny kid. And they're like, we're really afraid you're gonna get hurt, so we want you to play on the freshman team. I'm like, but I'm a sophomore, and they're like, yeah, So,
we're protecting you, Aaron.
Yeah, right. Ooh, we're worried about your safety. I'm like, all right, I'm not a gangster, I guess. And so I ended up all that athleticism got funneled into playing Frisbee, and I ended up playing on the under-19 world team in 2004 for the United States in Finland, and then In 2007, I was playing on a club team here in Seattle, and we ended up winning the national championship in 2007, which qualified us to represent the U.S. at the World Championships in 2008. So yeah, so it got really serious for me because I when I do something, I just do it. You know, like I really get into it. So I don't do a lot of things, but the things that I do them extremely well. You know, I get really, really, really into them and figure out how to win at any cost. You know.
That's my wife does. She tells me, she's like, I can tell when you're into something because if you're in, you are 1000% in.
Yeah.
We got the blinders on and it's game on. She's like, I can tell when you're not into something.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, but yeah, that's my I tell you, man, I'm a nerd. I'm a blurred. I'm a black nerd. So somebody out there knows that. I'm blurred.
A blurred? Is that what you said?
Yeah, black nerd. It's a real thing. You should look it up.
It's a real thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Dude, I'm excited for your time. We're about to get into the countdown like I do with everybody. But I just want to say, super fan. I look forward to seeing you on tour. Hopefully we'll get you down south so we can come see you. I know you got some stuff going on in your life, but we will get you out on tour. We can't wait, dude.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
You remind me of all my favorites, B.B. King and Peter Green and Stevie Ray and Gary Clark Jr. and the whole deal now. So
yeah, man. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
I'm rooting for you, brother. It's cannot wait to hear the brand new album. Child of the State comes out May 21st. You got to hear it from Aaron Jones. Go to his website. You can check out all of it. He's on everywhere you listen to this podcast or watch it or whatever the deal is. Now, you got to survive the countdown, Aaron.
Let's do it.
10 questions, 10-1. We go backwards. Number 10, name something that's a perfect 10 in your life.
A perfect 10, my wife.
There you go. You're a smart man. Number 9. 9 is the German word for no. So name something you wish was no more. Something you could write off, you can end. Something you hate in life you wish was no more.
Something I hate in life that I wish was no more, man.
What's your pet peeves? Bad drivers?
No,
people who stand up as soon as the plane lands? What are we talking about?
Discourse is what I would get rid of.
Discourse, just all discourse.
Just all discourse could go away. I think we would just be. I'd be happy with that in life. You know what I'm saying? I'd be good with that. You know.
I'm down with that. Sign me up for no more discourse.
Yes, no more discourse. That'd be great.
All right, 8. When you head out, what do you want the last thing you ate to be? What's your last meal? Now you can. I tell everybody this: you can mix and match whatever you want. This can be part homemade, part from a restaurant.
Yeah.
All over the board. I'm gonna need a drink. Is there an appetizer? Is there dessert? I want you to think it through. This is no repercussions. Last meal.
Yeah. I would probably have a Rainier beer. Give me some of the garlic crispy chicken from the Buddha Ruksa Thai restaurant right here in West Seattle.
Woo!
And I would follow that up with maybe a bowl of some Seattle's finest, if you know what I mean. And I think
that's not ice cream.
It's not ice cream. No, it's not. And I would let's see, what else would I have? Oh man, I would add a bowl of ice cream though. That would be nice, right?
Okay.
Right. Bowl of ice cream. What kind? Let's go with butter pecan.
Oh, that's old school. I like it.
Let's go. What else would I have, man? I would have to say okay, so I got the garlic crispy chicken, which is like really delicious from the Thai restaurant, but I also need like some like southern fried chicken too, just on the side because you just gotta have that little flavor before you go. I'd have a bowl of pho just to sip on the side here because Seattle's like famous for its pho. You gotta.
Yeah, it is.
And I think and a shot of whiskey, preferably Jameson.
Oh. Get my Jameson the Diet Sprite. Have you had that yet?
I haven't had that one yet.
Oh, buddy. Wait, interesting move. You went a bowl of Seattle's finest in the middle and not before dinner.
No, because you have to you're gonna feel full after eating so fast, right? So in the middle, you're gonna have to so that
recharge.
Yes, recharge.
Second wind.
Second wind. Give it to me.
Okay. I like this.
Yeah.
That's some pro thinking right there. I like that. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have went that way. I like how you're going though.
It's a culture, man. It's a culture.
All right. 7. When you were 7 years old, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Oh, what did I want to be? I thought I wanted to be a police
Was it a rocker
officer.
back then?
No, I was rocking. I was a rocker, but I
Right.
thought I wanted to be a cop because I was so
cop?
insecure. I was like, yeah, tell me about it. Now, I think, that was
Did
on
you
my
just see
mind
them
for-
and think that's the coolest looking dudes on the
I
planet?
thought they were cool, man. I liked the uniforms. I liked the cars.
Yeah.
I thought were cool. I'm a little kid. I didn't think about the culture of policing and what that really meant, And,
Right.
and then I thought I wanted to be a cop up until I was like, I gotta say, man, early 20s, and then when I started smoking Seattle's finest, and I was like, this is tight. What am I doing? Yeah. And that kind of ended that dream. And also, what happens, man, I think people just get afraid to like live it within themselves, like what's okay with them, So being
Right.
such a little dude growing up, I was trying to prove myself with the bigger people in life, the tougher guys and all that. So I felt like that was really the source of that. But music was always in my heart.
Dude, the first time I saw a garbage truck guy on the back of the truck, I
You
thought,
thought that was
what
tight?
cooler life is that?
Oh yeah.
And then you're like, well, okay, that's not for me, probably.
Yeah, you thought
One,
that was
it's
tight,
manual
though.
labor.
You're like, man, check that dude out on the back of that big old thing,
did.
man. That Tonka truck is huge.
Every day he gets to hang on the back of the truck. What's wrong with that?
Mhm.
All right, 6 feet under. How do you want to die? How you want to go out?
Oh man, in my sleep.
Just peacefully.
Just peacefully, man. That's
You
how I
need
wanna
that.
go
You need a
out.
bowl and a bowl of butter pecan, and then go to
Yeah.
bed.
Yeah, I'm good, man. Just like put me out, let me go. You know what I'm trying to say? Don't let me poop on myself, and if I do, just like hide it as best as possible.
That's why we
You
have
know,
wives. They'll hide our poopy drawers.
Old and happy with tons of grandkids. That's how I want to go out, man. And I'll be good with that. But there's what's funny, man, is we don't really know when that's gonna be. Like we're like of this new age where you can probably by the time like we're old and in homes listening to NWA and Dr. Dre in our 80s and 90s,
Yeah.
they're gonna have been able to discover the technology to like slow or even reverse aging, so we'll never have to deal with that.
Whoa, this is deep.
Isn't that
One,
true? Think about that.
I never thought about being in a nursing home asking people if they remember about the time everybody forgot about Dre.
Oh no, you wouldn't be thinking that. You would be turning it up, and smoking the old folks on me. Yeah.
I forgot we're all going to be in nursing homes now.
Yes.
It's a
And
different
that's our
generation.
That's our generation, man. It's tight,
All right,
right?
this is good. We're gonna get to pick it. I like the way you think. Number 5, 5-finger discount. What's the last thing you stole?
Last thing I stole,
Mm.
man. What would I steal, man? It would be something super petty, like that I would never have to steal.
What do you take from hotel rooms?
From hotel rooms? Like shampoo, but that's like corny. I don't even.
Do you ever take anything big, like a pillow?
Maybe a pillow, but that's not petty enough, though. I would take some black licorice. I hate black licorice, and I would steal some black licorice just because.
Just to be that guy?
Just to be that guy. Just to be that petty about it, bro.
I mean, I got a discussion the other day of worst candies ever, and black licorice is like on everybody.
The worst candy. So why would you steal it? It doesn't make sense, right?
They wouldn't even think about it.
That's what makes me petty.
Are you reselling it? Craigslist?
No,
what are you doing?
I'm not. I'm probably gonna throw it away. To be honest,
trash?
with you. I don't care. Trash? Yeah, absolutely.
You don't fucking care.
I don't care. That's what makes me petty. That's the point. That's the point.
All right.
I don't care. I'm like the Joker. I'm gonna burn all the money.
All right. I got number 4. I usually ask one question. I have a backup because some people don't know the first. So I might ask you both. I think we're feeling it here.
Sure.
No, number 4, I usually say Mount Rushmore, top 4 Little Debbies of all time.
Top 4 Little Debbies, man.
Now you're from Seattle, so I can give you a pass. But have you had Little Debbies?
Yes, I've had Little Debbies. Swiss rolls are always going to be my favorite Little Debbie. I think, man. There are. Let me see here. They have the strawberry shortcakes. I forget what they call them. I don't even know if those little Debbies, but they're like the same thing, and those are bomb too.
Just like the Swiss cake, but they got strawberry.
It's like strawberries and Twinkies and cream.
Yeah, I think they're cordials or something. Yeah,
something like that, man. Like those. But the Swiss rolls are a classic. You can't go wrong.
Have you had an oatmeal cream pie?
I had the which one?
Oatmeal cream pie.
I've had the oatmeal cream pie is a classic too. You can't go wrong with either of those. But here's the thing about the Swiss roll that you can't do with the oatmeal classic, right? With the Swiss roll, what you could do is you can get the glass of milk. I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't do this anymore. But like you get the glass of milk, and you bite the head off the Swiss roll, right? And you dip it in the glass of milk, and then you
Yeah.
flip it, and then the chocolate on the outside holds the milk in, and you take a bite of creamy, chocolatey goodness.
Oh, it's like a little cup.
Yeah.
You're going to get it in between. I call it the skin.
Mm-hmm.
It's in between the skin and the roll.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's an advanced move.
Man, I'm a Swiss roll champion, man. I'm a snacks guy. Seattle's finest.
I got you. Have you had Nutty Buddy?
Yeah, I've had Nutty Buddy for sure.
Those
Nutty
are
Buddy's
classic.
not ever been my favorite though, but it's classic.
They've had fudge rounds, the Christmas tree cakes.
Yep.
Some of those are Star Crunch is a good one too.
That's a good one too.
Here was my backup because just in case some people from the South don't. If you're not in the South, you're not a big old Debbie guy. My backup is you can have one pizza. You only get 4 toppings. Cheese doesn't count as a topping. I tell everybody a cheese pizza is an unfinished pizza because you forgot to put toppings on it. So
one pizza, 4 toppings. All right, here we go, man.
You got your perfect pizza right now. We're ordering. You can only get 4 toppings.
Okay. Ground hamburger, right?
Okay.
Let's get some goat cheese. Let's get some onions. And then let's get some bell peppers, and we'll call it good.
Beef, onions, peppers. You going extra cheese? Is that what you're doing?
Goat cheese.
Gold cheese. Oh, goat cheese.
Yes.
Goat cheese. With the regular mozzarella too?
Yeah.
Oh, son. Thick crust or thin crust?
Man, see, these are always hard questions. I really have an affinity for both. How about we do stuffed crust though?
Okay. Stuffed with just cheese. Have you tried the hot dog kind? I haven't.
I haven't tried the hot. I didn't even know they had a hot dog kind.
Yeah. It's cheese and wieners in the crust.
Someone's gonna get talking to about this around me. I'm gonna blame someone for this.
That means somebody at Little Caesar smokes weed.
Oh my god, that sounds delicious. Sounds amazing.
All right, I like it. Stuffed crust. We'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good answer. All right, number 3. 3 albums on a deserted island. You're not getting in an argument. This isn't you're saying they're the 3 best albums ever. They're just the 3 you personally could listen to forever. Some people pick greatest hits. Some people go live albums because they want to act like there's other people around. Or it's just the 3 that you can listen to forever and it's never going to get old.
Michael Jackson's Bad.
Okay. Strong.
I would say Are You Experienced? I would actually go with Nevermind by Nirvana over Are You Experienced.
Really?
Well, because all the stuff that Jimmy did in that record.
Okay.
Almost all the stuff, but it's got some.
You've got almost a sample of all of him there.
Yeah. It translates, and then my last record would be The Wall by Pink Floyd, because there's got to be psychedelic somewhere on this island.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's natural stuff grows on the island.
Yeah, so of course, Pink Floyd, The Wall.
All right. Number 2, I need 2 concerts. First concert you went to, and the last concert you went to as a fan, not since you're a performer.
As a performer, first concert I went to and last concert I went to. First big concert I went to was Alien Ant Farm opening for Incubus at the Key Arena when I was like 15. Yeah, I saw it. So
was that you? Concert. Hey, I need to get my money and go. That wasn't somebody taking you, right?
No. That was somebody. No, it was my.
I mean, a lot of people's are. My parent or my family member went, "Hey, you're going."
No, I was me and my high school buddies, man.
This is you going. I got to go to this damn concert.
We all went to this concert, and it was amazing.
Will you ever forget it?
I won't ever forget it, man, because it was like me, being some kid from like this, only concert I'd been to at that point was in church, so it's like, and church concerts is just like church people doing church stuff. Or when you go to like a real concert, you're like, oh my god, it was an experience, man. I got kind of drunk too on accident. Like I never drank before.
Wait, you were 15?
Like yeah, it was terrible, terribly awesome, So yeah, my buddy, I had a buddy named Sam, and he was like, hey Ryan, you gotta finish this for me. It's watered down. And I'm like, okay. And so I like knocked this back, and Sam is like quite a bit bigger than me, man. He's like he's gotta be 6 feet. I'm like probably 5'5", 5'6" at the time or something, and like just down half this thing of watered down vodka. I'm just like, guys, this is amazing. I love this concert. Yeah, it was crazy.
Did you had to know Incubus. Did you know Alien Ant Farm going in? Or were they
I did, man. Well, they had to single out the big one for them was that Michael Jackson.
Yeah, the cover.
Smooth Criminal remake, right? Yeah. So that they were out, but they, I think that for them, if you haven't seen them live, like people don't realize how dope Alien Ant Farm is if you haven't really seen them live,
Yeah, that's why I was wondering if you knew going in, or you just, hey, I got the radio hit and I'm going.
We were just there to see Incubus. Really, we weren't there to see Alien Ant Farm, but they were amazing. They were incredible. Yeah.
All right, last concert you went to as a fan.
The last concert I went to as a fan would have been.
I mean, your rock star status could have got you in. I don't mean that, but I just mean you weren't performing. You just went, damn, I want to see this show.
Yeah, I would say that was Samantha Fish at the Neptune Theater.
She's so good.
Yeah, I love Samantha Fish. I think she's amazing. She's amazing. Been a friend of mine for a while, man. We played some blues festivals and things together in the past, and I just that show was incredible because she was so just on fire. I mean, I don't know if a lot of listeners, who listen to hard rock also listen to what's going on in the blues world and the guitar world there. But as a guitar player, I think that she is one of the best out right now. Honestly, it's incredible, and I'm saying that as a guitar player, like it's incredible. It's like just seeing her work. And that night, she just came out there. Her voice was on fire. Her range was incredible, and her guitar playing was on top of that. So you just saw this magician just work the crowd. It was incredible.
Well, I'm a huge blues fan, and it's one reason your music speaks to me. But you've got the hard rock style on top of it, and I think quote unquote blues music is in a good place and going in a good direction. There's so many young talents that are coming out. Kingfish and a bunch of others that are just. You guys are on top of the world and taking it to a great new place, man. So I'm excited for it. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. We started out in similar places, and we all kind of ended up in similar places in our different lanes, I played shows with Kingfish a bunch, and played with Samantha a bunch, and it's really cool to see us all get to this place right now, like together, kind of just collectively going, moving in our lanes, All right, number one, last question of the countdown before we get out of here. This is going to be interesting based on your location. You said you got into wrestling a little bit, but I always ask, if you were a wrestler, who would you be?
Oh, who would I be?
Past, present, current, doesn't matter.
You already know, man. I would be The Rock.
Yeah.
Good question. What'd you?
Because of the stick work. All right, here's what I always ask. Now you're a wrestler. Who's your tag team partner? Who are you choosing?
Tag team partner? What kind of question is this? Mankind is my tag team partner. The Rock and Sock Connection, bro. It's the Rock and Sock Connection.
I'm so glad you pulled that out.
No way. Come on, man.
It was the natural answer.
Connection.
I should have known you were a Blurred. You had the rest on that.
I told you, I'm a Blurred. It's the Rock and Sock Connection, man. The Rock and you can't go wrong with that. Okay, do you remember the Rock and Sock Connection? It was one of the most legendary teams of all time, man.
So they're so underrated. So both of them great. I think before we knew it was there, if you would have said it was happening, you wouldn't believe it. And then it happens, and it's so good.
Do you remember the 1, 2, 3 kid? That was X-Pac before he was X. 1, 2, 3. Love 1, 2, 3 kid, man. Come on,
buddy. I can't wait for you to get down here to the South, just so we can.
I can't hear, man.
Okay.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
I want to see you in concert. Can't wait to see you jam, man. Can't wait to hear the brand new album. Go to Aaron Jones Music. That's AYRON. Aaron Jones Music. Brand new album, Child of the State. The debut album coming on the 21st of May. We are so excited, man. I just want to thank you for the time. I really appreciate it.
Of course, man. Thanks for chilling with me, and it was great talking with you.
Aaron Jones. Adios, muchachos.
Well, catch you later, man.